Hi and welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. I'm Jeffrey Driscoll. I write for anysportanytime.ca. With me, as always, is Jim Kerr, who writes for kerseysnotebook.blogspot.com. Let's get right into it here, Jim. Let's start with the Edmonton Oilers and start with the comments that Coach Tom Renney made earlier this week. He was saying, he basically ripped the Oilers apart, saying that they were a joke and that the game that they had was a travesty and that they had no pride in their jersey. Big stuff.
Oh yeah, heavy hitting. And
then the Oilers come back and win the first game. I mean, although it wasn't that great of a game, and then had another good game on Saturday night as well. Do you think it actually got to them? Do you think?
I think anytime your coach goes to the media and says, joke, travesty, no pride, that's gonna, if that doesn't light a fire under you,
well, exactly,
it's a lost cause, I think. But they came out a little stronger, and I think they need that, and I hope he kind of keeps his foot on the pedal.
I hope so too. Stuff. Tom Renney doesn't usually, or at least in the past, doesn't usually coach through the media as well. But in this case, he did. Do you think that was what was left?
It's about sending a message. I think you get out there and you say, and I'm sure what he said to the media was nothing like what he said to the team.
Insane in the dressing room.
Probably ears bleeding.
yeah, that's right.
So I think that was just maybe an exclamation point on the message he had already delivered or was about to deliver to those poor.
No kidding. I mean, they did come out and win the next game, but I mean, still they allowed a bunch of shots through 40 minutes. The shots were something like, I can't remember, but
a lot to a little.
Yeah, 31 to 11 or something like that. Something crazy like that. I mean, what do you think that was just a case that they got lucky, or do you think their goaltenders keeping it in?
Well, it seems like the Oilers they either don't start well, and then come on at the end, or they start really well and then lag a little bit. Yeah. So I think it's about trying to get a full 60.
It'd be nice to see.
Or, even a full 20 followed by a full 20.
That's right.
Followed by a full 20.
Maybe
a good 5, depending on how the game.
We'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah, but I think the focus is getting them a great start is all. That's what they want, but keeping it up for a full game.
Yeah. What do you think the Oilers are missing right now? I mean, we talk about this every week, and newsflash, we're probably going to be talking about this for the next couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. But my personal, I mean, we need something in the D side of things.
I think goaltending's fine.
Yeah, I think goaltending's fine too.
Devin Dubnyk, if right now he's got the reins and he's looking really good. He's 30-some saves almost every night that he's been between the pipes. You can't really say much about the offense. There's nothing really missing there. I think it's defense.
It's gotta be, and you just named it. I mean, Dubnyk's getting over 30 shots a game. I mean, most teams get around 30 shots a game, but he's talking like 40, 41 shots a game. Yeah. So there's a lot to do with the defense there, I mean, I talked to you this week about Ladislav Smid. He's just got his head up in the air, you gotta get in the game, And would you like to see?
He was coming off a concussion.
Of course, that's right. Maybe he's got a few of the birds still chirping outside of his head. If you were to pick a defenseman that you think the Oilers could trade for around the league, is there anybody you think could get there? This is how rumors start, by the way.
Yeah. I heard something about.
Some guy.
Smid for Lidstrom or something?
For Lidstrom, yeah. I heard that too. That's so weird. That's two people.
It'd be nice to get, because they have a couple of guys that could make a good core, but I think they need to get maybe someone, one or two more experienced, just anchor guys.
Yeah.
And
someone like, a Sheldon Surrey who's not a Sheldon Surrey, or a Chris Pronger who's not really Chris Pronger.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. We'll talk about that a little later. Yeah. So, continue with the NHL and Coley Campbell's wheel of disciplinary and judgments, I think, wheel of suspensions. He decided this week not to suspend Mark Stahl.
Hey, Mark Stahl, that'd be a good one.
Mark Stahl, we can use Mark Stahl. Maybe we'll trade for him. And then, he hit Matt Stajan, just ruined Matt Stajan this week. Yeah. Maybe he could see Calgary a few more times. Yeah. So. Do you like the non-suspension in this week?
Let's get it straight.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice hit.
Yeah.
I grew up watching those hits.
Yes.
But the NHL brought in these new rules.
They did.
To take away from those hits. And basically it says a lateral or blindside hit to the head is not legal. Stahl comes across the blue line. Yeah. As you see my hand coming across. Stajan comes east-west. Yeah. Boom. So to me, it didn't fall into the what's legal.
Yeah.
Nice hit.
Oh, it was a good
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
but he wasn't looking at him. Maybe he should be looking around, be more aware of his situation. But to me, the new rules state one thing, and they seem to be going to something else. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that. That you're right. I'm conflicted because it was a good hit, you know, and
that's
Stajan. That's Rock'em Sock'em, exactly. Matt Stajan was looking, admiring his pass, you know, and like we were saying before, I mean, it was only a second, but you know, you got to get your head up. His head was up. You got to get your head in the play.
The play was that way.
The play was that way.
He came from this way.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. I really don't want to see big hits taken out of the game.
Yeah.
But you can't see like the Matt Cook stuff and on Savard. You can't have those injuries like.
And that's the type of thing where the puck's over here, the guy's looking this way, and the hit comes from over here.
Yeah, that's
over
right.
in this area.
Yeah. And did you see Stajan do the crawl, try to get up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, he was hurt.
Yeah. You know, there was a time in sports where you'd look at a guy trying to get up, not being able to, and go, ha ha, look at him. Now it's like,
not so much anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Might have brain damage.
Moving on to the NFL, Vince Young,
Speaking of brain
damage. Vince Young, the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans this week. So he hurts his thumb, and then the coach doesn't let him get back into the game. So he gets, a little pouty, doesn't really like it that much, storms out of the locker room, right? And then later on in the week, texts his coach to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and when he left the dressing room, it was all like Days of Our Lives stuff. Like, you're storming out on your team. No, I'm storming out on you.
Yeah. Crap like that.
But it must be frustrating, though, for a football player. You're this big, high-end athlete, and you hurt your thumb. And it's season-ending.
Yes, yeah, that's crazy.
Apparently. You hurt your thumb, and you go, everything else, 99% of you is healthy, and your thumb is hurt.
Kidding.
That's got to be just a level of frustration that
totally.
I don't know if I've felt before. But texting your coach, come on.
That's too bad, because he had hurt his thumb. He must have been texting with his other hand, I guess.
Index
finger.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm saying, maybe this injury is...
Coach Jeff Fisher said someone could have grabbed his phone. He's probably thinking...
Because he's injured.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know, like, come on. You storm out of your locker room, and then you text your coach to say you're sorry. Be a man.
Yeah.
Be a man.
I think that's what lots of people are saying.
Yeah, if you're going to storm out and just... leave it,
Slam the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, to text it back, be a man, go to the coach's room, apologize, and move on. But text.
I hope I don't get any texts from him over this.
Yeah, no kidding. Jim, shut up. Jeff, you're all right.
That's probably how it would go.
Exactly. So this week, one of my favorite stories of the whole week is President Obama, Barack Obama's, loves his basketball, is playing a pickup game at Fort McNair, and took an elbow in the face for 12 stitches.
Inadvertent.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully inadvertent. For 12 stitches, what do you think?
Unbelievable. Yeah. I love how many presidents, how many world leaders are currently or have been out day to day with an upper body injury. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I wish the White House release said something along those lines.
Yeah, press statement. Yeah.
But oh man, to be that guy, you play some ball on the weekends.
Yeah.
If the old bomb showed up to your home court, would you pull off a little bit?
Would I give the commander-in-chief the old elbow?
Would you play him hard?
I think you'd have to earn his respect. What if you didn't? What if you just let him shoot Jays and all over you? And if he's trash talking and that kind of thing.
Oh, if he's trash talking, yeah.
I don't know. I think you'd have to play him hard.
Leader of the free world, son.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you'd have to. I think you have to play him hard. But afterwards, I think the next day, you give it a day. But I think I'd go in there and try to ask for a picture with him.
Yeah, I can just see Obama sitting around the White House Thanksgiving dinner table, a bag of frozen peas up to his face.
I like that.
But how cool is it that he's in a position where he can basically make NBA Jam in real life?
His own, yeah.
He brings all these NBA players over for a little game.
Could you imagine just, ring.
That is
Kobe,
awesome.
Could you come over and play a little ball,
we've all put ourselves in NHL.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And, the skill level of my NHL players pretty similar to what I am.
Obviously. Yeah, you're fantastic.
Bragging,
you could play with, Detroit. And
that's right. That's right.
You and Dad.
But imagine being able to do that And you call these people up and then be like, yeah, absolutely. Where? Which outdoor rink?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good for Obama. I like to see it. Now we come to a new feature we're going to try on 15 Minutes of Fame this week. It's called the GABBYs, which is the good and the bad by you. Yeah,
kind of like the ESPYs.
Kind of like the ESPYs. Yeah, no, totally.
Much more prestigious.
They get it.
I don't know the ESPYs was
an actual thing.
I just thought it was some...
They made it up.
Yeah.
ESPN's like the ESPYs.
Yeah,
we'll call it the ESPYs.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're going to call this the GABBYs.
That's right.
And so we're going to identify 3 athletes or 3 stories from the world of sports across the world. I just said world of sports across the world.
Yeah.
And
I think they get it.
Yeah, I think they get it. And we're going to identify the good and 3 stories from the bad or funny. So bad/funny. So this week it's ours. We've picked 3 from each side, but we're looking for you guys to submit your good and your bad and what you'd like to see, and we'll use it on air if it's any good. So,
or bad.
Or bad, yeah, exactly. Or funny. So the good this week, Jim, Kovalev scores his 1,000th career point in LA this week.
Yeah.
How about that? Not too many European. And he did it without faking an injury or 3.
Good.
Yeah, how about that?
Well, good for him. He's the third Russian to do it.
Yeah, it hasn't happened often.
Cool.
So good for him. So
I want to like him as a player.
That's the thing.
I want to, but
just when
it's hard.
He fakes the injuries, he drives me up the wall.
Yeah.
Also good, the New York Islanders snapped a 14-game losing skid against the New Jersey Devils as well. What do you think about that?
14 games. You could tell the frustration was through the roof.
Yeah. And they went nuts when they won, too. They were so happy.
Yeah.
So 5 NHL goalies had shutouts this on Friday alone. So Cam Ward, DiPietro, which DiPietro's playing again? How about that? He's not injured. Varlamov, Lundqvist, and Pavelec. That's not bad. 5 shutouts on one day. And
there was, I think, another 5 teams held to 1 goal, so it was a good night for the goalies.
On the bad side, I love this story, is Real Madrid accused of getting 2 deliberate red cards. So they're going to wipe their slate clean. The guys were going to get the suspensions out of the way for a completely meaningless game, and they did the red cards on purpose. If you watch the video, it's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Is it good strategy, or is it unsportsmanlike conduct?
Well, that's the thing. Is it like taking...
I kind of like it.
Yeah. Is it like taking purposeful fouls in basketball? A lot of people do that at the end of the games.
The yellow card rule is kind of dumb to start with, so...
Well, maybe.
I kind of like it, though.
Check out the video. It's something else. Speaking of... so that game, in that game, Madrid beat Ajax 4-0, I guess. And striker, what is it, Suarez?
Luis Suarez.
He was suspended for 7 games for biting someone else.
Yeah, the game before that, the domestic game, he bit a guy in the collarbone.
Unbelievable. Who bites a guy?
Didn't even really apologize after. He was kind of like, I was tired.
Whatever. And then, how about the ref in the Philly versus Calgary game, disallowing Flyers' goal in overtime. Chris Pronger's in front of the net, goes like this in front of the goaltender's face. For a split second. The Sean Avery rule.
Here's my problem with it. The Sean Avery rule says one thing. It's not in the rule book as far as I can tell. And what Pronger did wasn't what the rule says, but they say he broke the spirit of the rule. The spirit of a rule that's an interpretation of a rule that's not really the...
Yeah, I'm in favor of this, but mostly just because I have a bias. I hate Chris Pronger. So we're going to go on to quick hits now. So that was the GABBYs. Submit your stuff for next time. We're going to go to quick hits. So refs in Scotland's Premier League, so they were on strike, and because they were called mean names.
Yeah, basically. They didn't like the...
Yeah, how about that?
Can you do that?
Strike for money, Don't strike because you've been, called things.
Just be better refs.
Yeah, that was true too. So what is more unacceptable? Terrell Owens running his mouth in the middle of a 7-game losing streak, now 8 games, or Kovalchuk and Ovechkin chumming it up after a 5-0 Caps win? Laughing.
I think T.O.
Yeah, T.O.
Shut up, man. Your team sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
Well, our 15 minutes are up for this week. Join us again next week when we have a whole new 15 minutes. In the meantime, you can check us out on Twitter at 15minutesYEG, on our YouTube channel at 15minutesYEG, or email us at 15minutesYEG@gmail.com. I think
that's
I got
right.
it all.
You got it.
Visit me at anysportanytime.ca and Kersey at kerseysnotebook.blogspot.com. Until next time, thanks.